Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Logic Medico. Today's topic for presentation is development of stomach. So the stomach develops from the lower end of the foregut. Okay, this foregut is that part of the yolk sac which is present in the head fold of the embryo. Okay, so the lower end of the foregut is just below the diaphragm. The green color structure is diaphragm in this picture, and the blue color tube is foregut, lower end of the foregut. So stomach development starts as early as 4th week of intrauterine life. Okay, initially it's placed in the median plane. It's tubular organ. Okay, it's placed in the median plane. So it will have fusiform dilatation. So like this, it will undergo fusiform dilatation, and also the ventral border of this will not grow rapidly, while the dorsal border grows very rapidly or more progressively. In such a way, it will be subsequently seen like this. So this area anteriorly you can see the umbilicus, xiphoid process and pubic symphysis. Posteriorly you can see the vertebral column. Can you see the ventral border is become concave and short. Dorsal border is growing very rapidly. Now at this point you should know what is ventral mesogastrium and dorsal mesogastrium and its fate. So ventral mesogastrium is a peritoneal fold which connects the ventral border of the stomach to the ventral abdominal wall or the anterior abdominal wall. Dorsal mesogastrium on the other hand connects the dorsal border of the stomach to the vertebral column, which is the posterior abdominal wall. So mesogastrium is nothing but peritoneal fold connecting the stomach either anteriorly or posteriorly. So what happens to this ventral and dorsal mesogastrium? Subsequently what happens from the ventral border of the stomach, it is from this area, one bud will grow. It's called the hepatic bud. So it will give rise to the liver. This green color structure is the liver. Okay. So when it gives rise to the hepatic bud or the liver from the endoderm, the ventral mesogastrium becomes following. Between the anterior abdominal wall and the liver, that is between this anterior abdominal wall and the liver itself, it will form a sickle-shaped fold of peritoneum. You already know that. Falciform ligament. Between the diaphragm, this green color structure, diaphragm and this liver, it will give rise to right and left triangular ligaments and coronary ligament, two layers, superior and inferior layer. So this is between the liver and the anterior abdominal wall. The fate of ventral mesogastrium. This ventral mesogastrium will become like this. Also, between the liver and the stomach, this portion of the ventral mesogastrium will become lesser omentum. So this is the fate of ventral mesogastrium. I repeat, between the liver and the anterior abdominal wall, falciform ligament, superior and inferior layer of coronary ligament, and the right and left triangular ligament. Between the liver and the stomach, it is the lesser omentum. Okay, got this? That is the fate of ventral mesogastrium. Now the fate of dorsal mesogastrium, that is that portion of the peritoneum connecting the dorsal border of the stomach to the posterior abdominal wall. What happens to that? Spleen develops in this area. Spleen. Okay, spleen will develop in this area from the mesoderm. Okay, those mesoderm initially will be many in number. They are called as splenic lobules. They are derived from mesoderm within the dorsal mesogastrium. So within this dorsal mesogastrium, spleen develops. So once the spleen develops, the dorsal mesogastrium is now become two ligaments. What are they? The gastrosplenic, between the stomach and the spleen, gastrosplenic ligament. Between the spleen and the kidney, this green color structure is spleen, and that is kidney. It is lienorenal ligament. So the fate of this dorsal mesogastrium is, that is, it becomes gastrosplenic between the stomach and the green color spleen, and lienorenal. The other name of spleen is lino, okay, in Latin. So lienorenal ligament. In addition to this, there is a small fold of peritoneum connecting the stomach with the diaphragm, gastrophrenic, and the peritoneum which folds upon itself from the greater curvature is called as greater omentum. Greater omentum. You can see one fold of peritoneum here. That one. That is called as greater omentum. So all these are fates of dorsal mesogastrium. Okay. Got this? Next, coming to what happens in the stomach. So we just now saw the stomach develops from the lower end of the foregut. It's from the endoderm. It undergoes fusiform dilatation. It has got a ventral border which is concave and dorsal border which is becoming convex. This is the ventral border towards umbilicus. You can see that. Dorsal border towards the vertebral column. So what happens? Initially the stomach has got two borders, right? Ventral border, dorsal border. Two surfaces, right surface and the left surface. It's a fusiform dilatation. Subsequently it undergoes rotation. This is very important statement. You remember this. Stomach undergoes rotation, 90-degree rotation to the right. In such a way, the ventral border will now become the right border, or also called as lesser curvature. Okay, so what happens? The initial ventral border is there now, this straight one, this ventral border, dotted one is dorsal border. So the ventral border, when it undergoes 90-degree rotation to the right, it flips to the right now. So the ventral border now becomes the right border. Since it's forming a small curve, we also call it as lesser curvature. Whereas the dorsal border, the dotted one, once it undergoes rotation to the right, so what happens? The dorsal border comes towards the left side. But it is grown too much. It's called differential growth rate. Ventral border is growing slow, dorsal border is growing fast. So it's going fast, it has become big curvature. It's called greater curvature. So the initial ventral border become the right curvature or the lesser curvature. The dorsal border become the greater curvature or the left curvature. Because of this, what happens? The left surface was there now, will now become anterior surface. Anterior surface. So what happens? One vagus now will be there on the left side. Now it becomes anterior vagal trunk. Okay, if you see gross anatomy, the anterior portion of the stomach will have anterior vagal trunk branches. They are called nerve of Laterjet. Kindly see that if you want to understand gross, you have to be knowing embryology. So the vagus nerve, the 10th cranial nerve, which was until now called as right and left vagus nerve, will now become anterior vagal trunk and posterior vagal trunk. That is because of rotation of the stomach. Which direction? 90-degree to the right. That is important. That statement is important. So the initial left surface will now become the anterior surface, and the initial right surface will become the posterior surface. Okay, any one statement you remember. Either you remember left surface becomes anterior. That's good enough. Left surface becomes anterior. Therefore, left vagus nerve is anterior. So this is about rotation of the stomach. If you want to know why the stomach undergoes rotation, there are three main reasons why the stomach undergoes rotation. The ventral mesogastrium, here, what is developing? I told you already, this one is liver. So the development of liver in the ventral mesogastrium causes a pressure. Okay, this pressure is more abundant than the spleen, because spleen is hardly small organ, but the ventral mesogastrium has got a liver. Liver is a heavy organ, na? So that there is a tractional pressure which twists this stomach like this into 90-degree rotation to the right. That is one of the reason. Okay. The second reason is there is a rapid growth of the dorsal mesogastrium. So when the dorsal mesogastrium, here dorsal border and the mesogastrium is undergoing rapid growth, these two. So what happens? Ventral border doesn't grow that much. So there will be again tractional force shifting it, and therefore there is a formation of greater momentum. Because of the tractional force, the peritoneum gets folded upon itself, resulting in greater momentum. Also, I already told you, there is an active growth process that's called differential growth rate. The ventral border of the stomach won't grow that much, whereas the dorsal border of the stomach will grow rapidly. It's called differential growth rate. So all this contributes to the formation of rotation of stomach, 90-degree rotation of stomach to the right. One is liver, second one is tractional force by the momentums, and third is differential growth rate of the stomach wall. The ventral wall doesn't grow that much, but the dorsal border grows rapidly. So coming to the congenital anomaly. Congenital anomaly is congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis. So what is this congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis? So this is the stomach. You can see the pyloric sphincter. That is the inner circular layer of smooth muscle. Okay, of the any part of the GAT. Over here it's got thickened to form pyloric sphincter. If it gets too much abundant, the circular layer becomes hypertrophied, meaning increase in the cell size. It is called like this, congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis. The child will have severe vomiting. Between the first 2 weeks of life, it will have severe vomiting and failure to grow. Usually it happens in a male child when compared to the female child. It is called as CHPS, congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis. It's one of the congenital anomaly in which the pyloric sphincter, which should normally be a sphincter or a valve, now becomes really thickened. Okay. Kindly subscribe to my channel and press the like button. and recommend this video to your friends too. Happy learning. This is the summary of stomach. All that you have to write is stomach develops from the lower end of the foregut by a fusiform dilatation called as gastric bubble, or you can just tell fusiform dilatation. Ventral border connected to the anterior abdominal wall, dorsal border connected to the posterior abdominal wall. Ventral border doesn't grow that much, dorsal border grows. Ultimately, there is a rotation of the stomach. There are two surfaces, right and left. Rotation of the stomach to the 90 degree to the right. In such a way, the left surface becomes anterior and the right surface becomes posterior, whereas the anterior border or the ventral border becomes right border, which forms a smaller curve, lesser curvature, and left border, the initial dorsal border will now become the left border, which forms a greater curvature. So the initial left surface will now become the anterior surface. Proof: left vagus becomes anterior vagal trunk. Okay, got this? So, congenital anomaly, congenital hypertrophic pyloric stenosis. So that is a summary of the development of stomach. Should I write this ventral mesogastrium and dorsal mesogastrium derivatives? So this is, if the question is for 5 marks, then you should be able to write such things. If the question is for 3 marks, just if you write the development of stomach, that is fusiform dilatation, ventral border, dorsal border rotating like this to the 90 degree to the right with its fate along with one congenital. That's good enough for 3 marks. For 5 marks, you should be able to write ventral mesogastrium and dorsal mesogastrium fate also. Okay. In summary, ventral mesogastrium gives rise to falciform ligament, right triangular, left triangular, and coronary ligament between the liver and anterior abdominal wall. Lesser omentum between the liver and the stomach. The dorsal mesogastrium fate is, dorsal mesogastrium becomes gastrosplenic, splenorenal or lenorenal, gastrophrenic, and greater omentum. Okay. Thank you once again.